hats off to all these people that are lucky enough to have, a following and a crew and able to give us the in-depth news, the real news. Without you guys, we wouldn't know nothing. Mainstream media is owned by the government. In Canada, that's a fact. You can go on their Canada government site and they'll tell you the money is given to CBC and so on. It's evident when you watch cable news. So, again, I appreciate all of you people with channels and podcasts that give us the real news. So, a few articles I seen the past few days. I thought that I would read them over for you, or give my opinion. Some of them weren't very long. It was more of headlines, but the first one, when I read the headline, I'm like, oh boy, this sounds familiar, right? What's going on here? But the bird flu outbreak in Sweden. So the World Organization for Animal Health. It seems we're already under one government. It seems WEF, WHO, now, World Organization for Animal Health. It seems like we don't govern ourselves anymore. It's just one world government. Maybe silly, but that's how I feel anyway when I read this stuff. But in Sweden, they reported an outbreak of a highly contagious H5N1 bird flu virus on a farm in the southern part of the country. The virus has led to an unfortunate loss of 1,316 birds, with authorities killing the remaining 47,938 healthy stock to contain the spread. The situation is evolving. Health officials are closely monitoring the developments as the disease continues to spread in Europe. So, yeah, you draw your own conclusion. It just seems like there's never a break between COVID, bird flu. There's always something. Always something. So, draw from that. I just found it interesting. I didn't see it anywhere else. Iran's regime financial support to Syria. So what happened was this week a document was leaked by Iran, leaked by somebody in Iran, I guess, showing that they supported Syria regime with $50 billion, right? And so they're asking for $18 billion in repayment. That's not a bad deal. You get $50 billion, you pay $18 billion back, but Iran is not getting any money from them. So there's some tensions there. Now I'm sure they can find a common enemy that they can be kissing each other's necks pretty soon. I'm sure. Bygones be bygones. Once they zero in on a common enemy. Iraq it's not tensions necessarily with Iraq and Iran, but Iraq is telling Iran that we need gas and electricity, so we're going to have to go elsewhere because of the world sanctions against Iran. It's causing Iran not to be able to give Iraq what it normally gives or sells, gas and electricity. So Iraq is saying we have no choice but to go somewhere else, and so Iran is a little upset about that because that's a hit to their economy, and right now, countries is like people. You take threaten a person's job and their money, and they got to have their bills paid. Some people lash out in different ways, so a country is no different. We don't know how, as the squeeze starts coming, we don't know how Iran is going to react. This one, 27 months in prison was given to a petty officer in the U.S. Navy called Ziho Wenheng. So what he was doing was he was selling China all the sensitive information of the U.S. Navy that he could get his hands on, and he got 27 months. To me, it seems like that's not a very long sentence for the crime. It don't surprise me. Since the beginning of time, we always spy on our neighbors. We always want what our neighbors got. If our neighbors got good weapons, we want them. And we want how they make them and how to make them better. Sometimes we do it just for our self-defense, just in case. But a lot of times we do it because not to defend ourselves, but to attack and be a bully and aggressor. So, so 27 months for giving away secrets. It don't seem, but it's highlighted that it just highlights an ongoing concern about the espionage and foreign influence within the U.S. Military. North Korea seems to be always in the news, North and South Korea, but North Korea is firing rockets and artillery drills and everything on the border with the South. I think that he's looking around and he's seeing everything that's going on. He's seeing the West occupied with Ukraine and Russia and Israel and Gaza and the Houthis and the Red Sea and Iran, China, Taiwan, tensions. The U.S. got some ships over there. The West got some ships over there just in case. I think he's looking around and saying, I want to have some fun too. I don't know. Like I can't see him winning against South Korea, because North Korea don't have the market because of sanctions and so on. But hey, what do I know? But some people don't care about winning. They just want to attack other people. So yes, 2024 could be an interesting year for sure. I had to chuckle with this. New York City sues bus companies for $700 million. And why they're suing the bus companies is because the bus companies is going down to areas where immigrants is coming across into the country. And the government, the U.S. government is saying, let more. Don't stop them. So the government is saying that. And the people is getting on buses, and the government is paying for their busing. So they're coming up to the U.S., or up to the New York and stuff like that, and all over. But New York is saying, stop. They're not suing the government. They're suing those companies, the bus companies, for $700 million because they said, we got to have the money because we can't afford, we don't have no money to take care of these thousands of migrants. They're in their schools. Now they're teaching some of the children is being taught at home, just like the pandemic, because immigrants has got to have the schools, hotels. There's some airports that's barred off, and that's where they're sleeping, in the airports. So instead of going to the government, pressuring the government, saying, we can't, you got to put a stop to this. Instead of doing that, they're suing the bus companies for $700 million. What about the hundreds and millions of people that's coming in to other areas, and they have no choice, but they got to find ways to take care of them? It's crazy. It really is. Google, the last article for today is the Google settles a $5 billion lawsuit. It's called the incognito lawsuit. So you probably already guessed it. It's, for instance, you can open up a incognito tab on your browser, and a lot of people do it because they do sick stuff or perversion or something like that, but not necessarily the case. That's just, one part of it. say you're at your friend's place, you see, oh, that's a new camera or a new whatever. Oh yeah, it's on sale. So you want one, so you take his laptop, you get on there, you put in your information, credit card, whatever, and when you're done, you closes the incognito tab, and you think, well, it's done. Your friend can't get on there and use your credit card or something. That wasn't the case. Google was keeping all that information anyway. And so I don't know where the money is going. It don't say where the money is going. If it's going to individuals, I doubt it. I think there's companies that is suing, and they're the ones getting the money, even though it's the individuals that was victimized. But $5 billion is what they had to pay. So, yeah. Anyway, folks, that's it for today.